guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Phil, as always, and I don't know if you noticed, I got a new haircut. Decided to go with the faux hawk. I was pretty happy with it until a friend of mine told me I started radiating Chad vibes, and now I feel a little self-conscious about it, but you know, can't judge a book by its cover. Sorry if your name's Chad, by the way. Elden Ring has been literally the game everybody has been talking about since its release. For good reason. It's a good game. And I'm so sick of seeing people say, oh, it's not a good game because of a shitty interface. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. Oh, the bosses are too hard. You know, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have tried to say that in a mocking tone. Also, if you can tell my voice, I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, so luckily it's not COVID. But this game has gotten so popular, it started bringing in people who haven't been playing a lot of From Software games like the Dark Souls series, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and this is for a lot of people, this is their first time experiencing a game like that. And I can understand why they're upset. This game is hard. It really is. In ways, it's a lot harder than a lot of previous Dark Souls and any other From Software game. But the beauty of this game is the fact that instead of having to keep hitting a wall to get past it, in the previous games when you'd find bosses and the only way forward is to get past said boss, you can actually explore this very detailed, rich open world and level up, get items, weapons, armor, magical abilities, and we're just grind up until you're strong enough to beat said boss. And that's what I love about this game. And to be honest, it is very similar to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild in that aspect of it. Here's a huge open world. Have fun. Have your own adventure, you know. Just make the game, create the adventure you want instead of being told by these other companies that have like these hand-holdy games. And I'll get to that in a second. And this game does it so well. In my opinion, this is better than Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I loved Breath of the Wild, my first playthrough. My second playthrough, though, to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it. I really don't have a desire to play Breath of the Wild again, because I feel like the mystery about that world was kind of cleared up after the first playthrough. With Elden Ring, it's not necessarily about the story. It's never really been about the story with these games, for me personally. This game is just exploration and building a character that feels unique to yourself or whatever you're feeling in the moment, and just exploring this world and killing bosses. It's great. I've seen so many anime builds in this game. It is insane. I've seen Urza from Fairy Tail, Inosuke from Demon Slayer, Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins, Ichigo from Bleach. There's just so many anime builds in this, and it's so cool. And look at this. The game is just huge. Every time I feel like I'm hit a wall, I find a new area that I haven't been to with a bunch of mini dungeons, overworld bosses. It's just so much fun. And playing those with friends is even better. Me and my friends have taken care of a couple bosses and just explore the world together, and it's fun. It's a great game. It is a masterpiece of a game. Now, is it perfect? No. But that does not mean it's not a masterpiece in game design. And I'm so sick of these companies that honestly are just jealous about it. They're mad that their games did not get the critical acclaim that this game is getting. Developers from Ubisoft, Guerrilla Games, some Sony developers, Battlefield 2042 developers. You probably have all heard this by now, that a lot of them have been sending out nasty tweets, basically kind of ridiculing the game UI from Elden Ring, saying that game reviewers don't give a damn about UI, story, stuff like that. No, that's not the case. What people love about this game is the fact that it's not going to hold your hand every single step of the way. You know, it just gives you the range to figure it out yourself. It gives you tutorials, like basic tutorials for everything. Every time you come across something new, it gives you a tutorial on it. And guess what? You use it, you learn, and then you move on. And some of it, honestly, is just trial and error, learning it on your own. And I love that. I'm so sick of these games that basically have to they feel like they have to hold your hand, point you in every single direction. Guerrilla Games' new Horizon Forbidden West. Apparently Alloy won't shut up about, we need to go do this, we need to go here. and just like your screen filling up with a bunch of different things telling you what to do instead of just exploring the world. And normally with me, story is a huge part in these games, but From Software, it's all about the gameplay. And to be honest with you, the UI for this game, yeah, could it be better? I'm not saying it can't be. But the fact that they're saying, oh, well, this game is terrible for this reason, this reason, this reason. They're mad because the conventional copy-paste, cookie-cutter formula that the companies have been doing these open-world games for the last decade is not working anymore. We're kind of tired of it. At first it was cool because it was new. And now we're getting these games that every single open-world game follows the same formula. There's maybe a handful of games that are different, but still, have the same basics. Have a giant open world that really is empty and just have a couple hundred or so collectible items. I don't want that. I want to explore a huge world that is so vibrant and full of things to find, like mini dungeons, secret passageways, to get around certain areas that you were having issues with, items, weapons, armor. There's so much you can do, and why I think it's better than Breath of the Wild in that aspect. This game is absolutely one of my top 10 games of all time, and it's really funny how these developers are just jealous that their cookie-cutter copy-paste formula does not work anymore. You know what? If it's not working, take a risk. There are so many companies that refuse to take risks anymore because they know taking risks doesn't mean they're going to get their maximized profit. But guess what? A lot of games aren't getting that profit that they are expecting. Square Enix, for example, is just absolutely obsessed with how games sell and have these unrealistic expectations. The fact that this game has been out not even a whole month yet, and it has become one of the highest selling games of the past 12 months. Beating out games like Far Cry 6, Cyberpunk even. Definitely for Horizon Forbidden West. A lot of these big games are not doing as well because this game is out. And people are having so much fun with this game. People are streaming it on Twitch. There's so much stuff happening with this game. And it deserves every single bit of praise that it gets. This game will go down as one of the greatest open world games of all time. I really hope they do DLC for this. I don't know how exactly they would do it, but I really hope there is. And it's just, game developers need to look at this. Not try to copy it, but look at what this game does. It is an open world game that just treats you like you're a smart person, They treat you like From Software is treating you like, hey, you know what? We trust that you'll know what to do. Or if you don't know what you'll do, or what to do, you'll have fun exploring anyway. One of my best friends is playing this game, and he told me he's like 20 hours in and hasn't come across a single boss. And I'm like, are you kidding me? How did you not come across a single boss? He tells me, oh, I've just been exploring the open world, leveling up. I'm like level 50, and I haven't come across a single boss. The man didn't go to certain areas, and he was getting mad that he felt like this game was boring. I'm like, dude, you haven't been really exploring then, because you would have found hidden dungeons, you would have come across at least the first main boss. And when I started pointing him in a couple directions and kind of making him realize you can't play this like a typical open world game, he started having a lot more fun with it, and now he's just going through a bunch of bosses that he really should have found early on. Another big thing with this game is the fact that this is showing single player games absolutely have a market have a place in the market. And it's really funny looking back on companies like EA that said single player games aren't the future. Nobody wants a single player game. Multiplayer games and games as a service is the way to go. How's that doing? No, it's not doing well. Every live service game that has come out lately has been terrible, has been flopping. And what they meant by that, and what they really meant by saying that, was the fact that it's not as profitable. But it's really funny how there have been some amazing single-player games since then. We've got Breath of the Wild, God of War 2018, Persona 5 Royale, Elden Ring, Ghost of Tsushima. There's so many, and those are just a couple of my personal favorite like single-player experiences that I've had recently. And these games sell incredibly well. They're just not monetizable. But you know what? From Software is one of those few companies that's like, you know what? We understand that when you make a good game, people want to play the game. People want to buy the game. People want to stream it. And when those people stream it, they get other people wanting to play the game. But when you look at a live service game and it says, oh, like you pay $60 for this game. It's bare bones content. We'll drip feed you the rest of the game later on, or we'll even charge you for more content. I have gotten almost over 40 hours in this game, and I'm still not even close to being done with it. This game is absolutely worth every single cent that it is asking for. $60. And none of this bullshit of like $70 upgrades that I know Sony is doing. And I love Sony. But $70 for games is stupid. Make a game that is good, that is complete. People will buy it, and you will get all the money back. Or, just have your CEOs take a little bit of a pay cut, because, they're not doing much. But anyway, sorry, that's a completely different thing. My thing is just, there's so much good hype about Elden Ring. You need to just play it yourself. If you don't like Elden Ring, you know what? That is fine. A lot of people that I follow have said that they don't like it because it feels like this is essentially just Dark Souls 4 open world with all the reused assets from previous From Software games. But you know what? That's fine. The game is just fun, and that is what a game is supposed to be. Fun. It's fun. It's just a great time. It's a great experience. And I'm loving every second that I have with it. Finding new weapons, looking at new builds. I already started a secondary character that's all mage and sorcery based. And we got too far into it, but it's there. There are just these people that are never going to be happy with anything. They say they don't want to be handheld, but then they get a game like this and they still want... People, at the end of the day, people will complain. Everyone will have an opinion. They're like assholes. Everyone's got one. And no one will ever be truly 100% perfect, with every single game, And that's fun. That's fair. That's not fun. That's fair, But just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's a bad game. I'm so sick of that. You know what? Is it like there are games that I hate? Well, not necessarily hate, but I'm not a big fan of. Resident Evil 4, everyone says that's a masterpiece. I'm not a fan of it. Grand Theft Auto 5, not a fan of it. Am I saying those are bad games? No, not necessarily. But I don't have fun with them, so I don't like them. But that doesn't mean that they're not masterpieces or fun games in their own right. It's just not for everybody. Just like Dark Souls and the From Software games are not for everyone. They take time, they take effort, they take work. But you know what? It's worth it. Because at the end of the day, you get an amazing game with so much value that you can just create the adventure and the fun for yourself. You got the tools. It's up to you now. So thank you guys so much. I just wanted to make this because I don't know. I'm kind of scrapped for content lately, but I love this game, and I'm so sick of reading people that are bitching about the game and saying how terrible it is and saying like other games are better or this game's terrible because of this reason. You know what? At the end of the day, it's not for you. Don't shit on someone else's fun and love for the game, Thank you guys so much for watching, though. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. And why not subscribe? I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and I've gone like 40 in the last couple months. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed. It really does mean a lot. And honestly, what do you think about this game? Let me know in the comments down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.